The fourth building block that we would like to talk about is something that I call either focuser as teacher or storyteller as teacher. And this just popped out at me one day, I think almost, that we try to teach people how to listen. But what it really involves is I'm a person telling a story and I want to be listened to. And if I want to be listened to, I want to be listened to in a certain way. I want to be listened to with empathy and compassion. And I know how that feels, but only I know how that feels. And so it occurred to me, gosh, who better than the person who's telling the story is there to teach you how to listen? Everyone needs to be listened to in a quite unique way. Now that I've discovered. There is not one master, one general way of listening. You can't teach a person listening 101, this is what you do. It just doesn't work that way. It's a very individual thing. And so it became very apparent to me that the person who could best teach someone how to listen to them was the person telling the story. And from there, we've developed some strategies to help. Now, the first thing is, I'm being listened to. You're my listener. You hold up a reflection to me. I take that reflection in and I resonate it. I see, does it fit? Is it right where I am? Does it capture it? And it might be dead on, in which case I go on with my story, more unfolds. It might be a little bit off. It might be that I did say all that, but that doesn't resonate. It's not right where I am, so then I come out with something else. Or it might be that the person maybe got back my words, but I didn't get that they got the feeling of it. And I can give feedback, something to the effect of, yes, that's what I just said, but it doesn't feel like you got how heavy that is, how hard that is for me to carry. And I just want you to know that's a really hard place I'm in. So here I've given my listener some feedback. The listener will take that in and respond accordingly. Maybe I simply need more time. I don't need a response just then, and I'll just say, could you just stay here with me a moment? I need a little bit of quiet, a little silence here to see where I am. It's this continual feedback loop. I'm teaching by resonating the reflection. I put that back to the listener. I give the listener feedback. I'm teaching that listener how to listen empathically and compassionately to me in the exact way I will feel listened to. It seems so simple, and really the more I think about it, the easier, more simple it is. It's just that we didn't have an edge on that. We didn't quite understand that key piece about the storyteller being the best teacher. We would like to go into that a little bit more and demonstrate it, but can you maybe say a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I wanted to add that it's a very empowering process. You would be amazed at when we give workshops and we introduce the focuser as teacher and explain what that is. There's no longer the nervousness about listening. It's like the person can then clear a space and they can be there, present to the other, knowing that the talker or the focuser is going to help them listen the way they need to be listened to. There's no guessing game. So it's a very empowering process. And people volunteer to listen. They're not frightened about listening anymore. So I feel it has been a real step forward in teaching listening. The emphasis used to be on the listener. Now the emphasis is on the focuser or the speaker to keep, so it's empowering for both people.
Yeah. As you say that, I remember my early attempts at listening and how nervous I was.
Yes.
And when I was learning, especially at the Institute, and I had an observer, and they were writing down things as I was listening, and I knew it wasn't, oh, Janet just made a brilliant reflection. I knew there was some problem there. And, it does. It makes you very tense.
Yes.
I realize with this storyteller's teacher or focuser's teacher what a partnership it is.
Yes.
What a wonderful way of helping each other.
Yes.
There is that sense that
Yes.
we're working together here
Yes.
to get this thing really understood so that you really feel empathically heard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was, I think,
Yes.
personally a big
Yes.
step forward.
Yes. I think another part of it is we want all our teaching to be experiential. So what is more experiential than getting direct feedback from the speaker so that right then and there in the moment, I as the listener can say, oh, so it wasn't like that, it's more like this. what value is there to my taking notes and telling the person after it's over? You know, it doesn't help them to, so it's a very experiential way of teaching the listening.
Yeah, that is an important point, because if my feedback comes afterwards, it can't anymore affect the interaction,
Right.
the quality of the thing in the moment, right?
Yes.